So this is the feedback session. The first is the questions, the second is the feedback.
Mhm.
So the first and the foremost point of an interview is take it for granted. I am going to tell you, you were a little nervous when you started the interview.
Yeah.
Even though you do not know me and I don't come from a AP background, you're a little nervous, and that's fine. I mean, everyone is nervous about going to an interview. It's not like you're having a walk in the park, so that's fine. But one thing that I want you to never do in an interview, on top of the list, is do not cross your hand in front of your mouth.
Do I? Oh, I do actually do that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So do not ever do that, because what you're trying to tell the person looking at you is you are telling them like, look, I am a little nervous. I know the subject, but I don't know if I'm using the right choice of words. So let me cover it.
Okay.
So never, your hand movements are great. Always use two hands and keep it where they are supposed to be. Like if it is a right
Right.
hand, it's on the right side. If it is a left hand, it's on the left side. Never do this.
Okay.
So you should face the camera, and that's also one more thing. The first thing is face the camera. Your body language should be very, it's okay to be slightly 120% confident.
Okay.
That shows that you're right. So sit right. The camera should be at your forehead, and you should look into the camera as if like exactly how I'm looking at it right now,
Okay.
not on the side, not here. And once you do that, smile and keep your hand movements on the same side and keep talking. Like move your hands, you can dance with your hands, do whatever you want, but you should always keep it on the same side. Never touch your face anywhere.
Okay.
So they should keep looking at you, and because you're like distracting their vision.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number two, in this order of priority, if I'm telling more than five, stop.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're not going to do anything super duper if I keep on saying do's and do nots. So I'm
Yeah.
literally going to give you five, and I want you to practice on it.
Okay.
The second thing is, I don't really know. I'll be very straightforward with you here.
Mhm.
I really don't know the subject behind EPI.
Okay.
So I am sure the way you have answered the questions, you know your stuff.
Yeah.
But when someone is asking you a question, it should be like you playing a tennis with them.
Okay.
So meaning the second point is your answer should be less than 2 minutes.
Oh, I'm talking too much is the thing.
You're duplicating it.
Okay.
So you know the content. So what I understood is, wow, Rohan knows the subject. He knows his technical stuff. He
Mhm.
knows all these things. But you keep repeating, not because you're nervous, but you are not going through a sequence. You're not going through A to B to C to D. You're just going to A to B, and then again A to B, again A to C, again A to B. So you're going in rounds.
May I ask a question then? So
Sure.
one of the most common questions that I get is like explain a study or something that you've done in your time. And usually the way that I go about it is I explain the entire study, like the entire
No, don't
procedure.
don't do that.
Okay.
So pick up. See, again, you're doing this.
My bad. It's
Yeah,
a nervous habit of
yeah, I
mine.
know, I know, I know. So try to put it on your armrest if you have an armrest, and that's stuff like that. But what I would recommend is this: for this kind of question, when it comes to process,
Mhm.
write down five keywords
Okay.
on an index card,
Hmm.
and when you are describing that the word, write a sentence on it.
Okay.
Your answer should be 5 sentences.
Okay.
And that takes a lot of effort, that takes a lot of practice. Whatever subject it is, try to come up with five buzzwords, five keywords, write maybe three or four phrases around it and just utter them and keep quiet.
Okay.
So it should be like a tennis match. Like, he's like serving the ball to you.
Yep.
You have to give the ball back to them.
Okay. So when I go through this question, maybe I go through the procedure, stop, ask them if they have anything for clarification, and
Yeah,
then it you consistently pass the ball back to them so that they
exactly.
have a chance
Exactly.
to engage. Okay.
So again, the point is eye contact. And when you think, like exactly what you did right now, when
Hmm.
you think, you look away.
Yeah.
Don't look away, look into the camera.
Okay.
You see, again, you did
Yeah,
it.
yeah, because I always look away because I have a huge window here.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
whenever I think, I have a habit of like looking out the window.
Yeah. So again, that is like a little mannerisms
Hmm.
that will throw people off.
Okay.
So just keep the camera at the forehead, like exactly where I am looking at it, and
Yeah.
just give 90 seconds to 2 minute answers. That's the
Okay.
second. The third question is, you're very you don't have a filter. You're talking very fluently, and you're very honest with what you have done so far. That is good. You're authentic.
Hmm.
But at the same time, you're also throwing a weakness at them. Like, for example, let's say I asked you, okay, what if this doesn't work? I never asked you that. I said, you're a Farm D.
Hmm.
You are you licensed? The question is, first, I mean, let me go back a bit. When someone asks you a question, first thing that should trigger in your brain is it an explanation needing question, or is it an yes or no question?
Okay. Is it? I was always taught it was better to explain my
No.
answers.
So if I say that, okay, you're a Farm D, you want to go into AP, you're doing this, how did you do? Great story. I understood that. And then you said, what if it does, and that is what you were
Oh, the
talking to
part for
me.
like what happens if it doesn't work, correct?
Yeah,
Like
don't
the
you
okay.
don't need to tell that,
Yes. Okay.
because you're telling them like, I took my boards, I did this, I did that. So
Right.
you're telling them that already you have a backup plan. They
Right.
don't need to know that.
Okay.
They don't need to know that. They don't need to know your past. They don't need to know all your mishaps and weaknesses and all those things. And if
Okay.
someone asks you weakness, I literally will say, I'm very good at data analysis, but I can be better. I can even, kind of
Yeah.
excel at it.
You
So you
you
kind
turn
of,
it into a positive is the way that I was taught as
exactly.
yeah.
So
Hmm.
never and never ever put yourself down, even though that may sound authentic, you're just putting a seed of negativity.
Okay.
That's the third one. And the
Mhm.
fourth and fifth are, um, in the initial part of the interview, when I asked you about Daiichi and I said, this is what did you do? You had, again, you were going on and on for a very long time, and
Mhm.
that kind of made me understand, like, okay, this is the major thing that he needs to know. But at the same time, what I want you to do is, for every position you have, can you highlight three major accomplishments in like simple three sentences and keep it ready in an index card?
I yeah, probably I can for each one of them. It's usually the thing is when the two positions you asked about, the AbbVie one and the UIC one, I almost never get asked about those positions. Almost 90% of the time I'm only asked about my
Yeah, yeah,
DSC
that's
work.
because the duration is very less.
Hmm.
So they know that you did some fellowship kind of training there and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So what I would say is, instead of going again into details, just pick up like three to four, not even four, three accomplishments, and say, hey, this is what I did in Daiichi.
So what instead of like doing all the things, I mean, so is
Let them
this
ask you the second question.
mhm,
See, the point is, I do not know much about AP.
Yeah.
After your first answer, I was like looking for what should I ask this guy?
Okay. Okay.
You see my point?
Yeah, no, I see it. It's usually like when through all the interviews, like I've the intro is like people always like ask me like to go into more detail or to do that sort of
Yeah,
like
let them do that.
yeah.
Let them do. So it's like, when you go to a restaurant and you sit down and you look at the menu
Mhm.
and the waiter gives you the menu, you look at the menu,
Yes.
some people right away order it, they get the food, they're done. Some people, what they do is they ask questions.
Okay.
And what does the waiter do? Oh, these people are interested in the food, they're not going to leave. And that's a good sign that they're asking questions, right?
Right.
So the same way, you just give them a 90-second answer, and once that 90 seconds is done or 2 minutes is done, let them probe little further.
Okay.
Who is scared? Because you already know the subject, you already did this.
Right.
So you're not really going into the specifics and the nitty-gritties in your first level of questioning. You're taking them through a little bit of a deeper dive. Let them do it. You're going to shine through it.
Okay. So from what I'm hearing, a lot of my problem isn't so much that I'm not saying the right things, it's that I'm saying too much at once. I need to
Too
give
much,
them
yeah, too much at once and repetitive.
okay. Okay.
And
This
slow
is
down. The last thing I want to tell you, the
Mhm.
fifth thing is slow down.
So I usually talk fast. That's actually super
I know, I
helpful.
talk fast too. I really talk fast. But when you do interviews, you need to uh, you need to mirror them. See, we both are the same kind.
Right.
So you talk fast, I talk fast. You talk fast, I talk fast. I can go faster than you, you can go faster than me. We
Yep.
both understand each other. But
Mhm.
let us say if one of my friend who is a slow talker,
Yep.
if Dr. Satya does the mock interview, she's not going to understand what you're saying.
Okay. No, that makes sense. I've always been with fast talkers. That's how my manager was as well. So
Mhm.
I've always just done it like this. But it makes sense that I should probably just take, and it helps that because it also like kills time as well. It makes it
Yeah,
so that
yeah.
you understand
So
everything.
take your time, breathe, because when you're talking fast, normally fast talkers, when they talk fast, they're using a words very in an increased frequency. You forget to breathe.
Yeah, and then I gotta take a big breath at the end, basically.
Yes.
Yep. Mhm.
So take a deep breath, start relaxed, and you will sound very confident. You have a very good voice. You have
Okay.
a very good bass in the voice.
Mhm.
So you're not like a sneak voice kind of thing. You have a very good bass voice,
Yep.
and what you have to do with that kind of ability is talk slow but louder. Talk slow, louder with clarity. That will
Mhm.
sound very confident.
Okay.
See, this is exactly what I do in my webinars. When I
Mhm.
talk to students, I don't talk to my students the way I talk to my friends when I meet them outside. I talk slow, loud, and confident.
Okay.
And so when I talk slow, loud, and confident, that portrays that I am on top of my game.
Okay.
So these are some of the things, but I believe uh, again, as I said, I can ask you like 20 different questions,
Yeah.
but I believe these are the five things that I need you to kind of
Yeah.
practice. The
It's
subject part, you don't need to worry.
yeah, it's more my mannerisms and how I'm communicating the information that's the issue here,
Yes.
which is what I thought was the issue and why I wanted to
Yep.
do
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
So okay, two questions because we're almost at time.
No, no, no,
Um,
that's fine. Go ahead.
First is so there are two situations where I'll get really nervous, and one is if they ask a technical question that I don't know the answer to. Like one time in my Pfizer interview, they asked me, "How do you go about designing and validating a PRO instrument?" And I'm not gonna lie to you, I had no idea how to answer it. So that's one thing I would like some advice on. The other is when they like rapidly ask you questions. Sometimes they'll ask me like 4 or 5 questions in less than like 2 minutes. And I get flustered whenever they do that because and I sort of like trip over my words. So Is there any advice that you could give me for that?
Pace your answers.
Okay.
Or you can tell them, see, the point is, how do you control a conversation? How do you control an interview space is by asking them questions.
Okay.
So, for example, they ask you 4 or 5 questions. Hey, do you know why, what, which, whatever the sequence is? They
Mhm.
ask you, hey, can I answer this question one after the other? Do you
Okay.
mind if I answer?
Hmm.
And see how I kind of ask them a permission, but it's a question mark which they cannot deny.
Okay.
That will slow down their pace, and then you don't speed up. You take the first question, relax, breathe, answer the question. What was the second question? Answer the question. Oh, the third question was this. Answer the question. So by
Okay.
the time you go to fourth, you already killed 5 minutes of your time.
Okay. Okay. That's actually a very good idea because sometimes like I'll be telling stories and then they interrupt me and then they ask like 5 questions in a row and
Now
it
let
throws
me
me off.
let me interrupt you.
Yeah.
Why they're interrupting is you're not passing the ball to the next
Yeah,
side.
that's the reason that they're interrupting me is because I'm
So
not
I
giving
think
them a chance to
I
speak.
think more than the mannerisms, Rohan, more than looking at the camera and the hand movement and smiling and all those things, your major thing that I would say is slow down your pace and just give 90 seconds to a 2 minute answer.
Okay.
So 2 minutes, they you should shut up. That's it.
Perfect. That's good. That's great.
So what
Um,
I normally do, I used to have this in front of me. I think I dropped it somewhere. I used to have like on Amazon, you can buy a 2 minute or a 5 minute timer.
yeah. On Teams, they have the little timer on the side, so
Timer,
you can
yeah. So
always
you
just
can
use
just
that to.
click on it and
Mhm.
just give. Don't rush through it. See, if the answer takes you 3 minutes, go for it. But you're not going to talk fast for 3 minutes. You're going to talk slow for 3 minutes.
Right. And if you feel like you're going on for too long, just stop it. Ask them if they have anything that they want me to clarify, and then if it
Don't
gives them a
don't
chance to talk.
even do that. Just to give them the just give them the icing on the cake first.
Okay.
Let them ask you the second layer question.
Okay.
Don't invite trouble.
So after like 1 or 2 minutes, just stop talking. Let them ask whatever they want to ask, and
Exactly.
keep passing it back and forth.
Yeah. But I believe this requires a lot of practice for you.
It probably will, but I can try my best. Ironically speaking, I actually have a final round interview on Thursday, for GenMab, but uh, we'll see. We'll see. This is good. This is what I thought was going to be the problem with me and what I needed somebody just to tell me is if you tell me how to do this and then I practice it, I think the rest of it will just come naturally. Because I never thought that it was the subject matter or the content that was the
No, no,
issue.
no. I never thought so. Your subject is solid. I
Yeah,
can sense from the way you're connecting the dots, even though I don't know personally the whole AP, what they do. I kind of know the process, but not in detail.
yeah,
So again, good luck on your GenMap thing. Hope this was productive and I
it
was
was.
able to add some value to you.
Hmm.
But good luck for your interview. I'll ask the admin to share this link to you.
Yep.
Please let us know through email what happened with the interview. I wish you the
Yeah,
best.
absolutely. I will. I mean, every month I have like 5 or 6 of them. So whenever I land something, I'll just send you a quick email. But thank you so much for all of this.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.